when they both of them come up, that's when I need you to say your name.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, go ahead.
Hey guys, I'm Michelle Sylvester. I'm with the studio.
Hi.
How are you?
Now I'm going to turn the camera off.
Okay.
Tell me I'm going to turn the camera off.
We're going to turn my camera off.
Okay.
Why? Because my angle's not important. Talk about the way you shot this movie, all in one house in separate rooms. This movie was shot the way it looks to the audience. What was that experience like?
I mean, I've never shot anything like this before. I think what was so interesting about it is that we were isolated in our own rooms, but at the same time, we were all in the same house, with the exception of Jacob, who was annexed out to like the garage workshop area.
It was like a converted wood shop shed. Like, let's just call it what it was.
Okay. Oh.
Yeah, but we were all wired in with the Skype program that we had that we were filming with. So even though we were separate, we were all on a Skype call, whether or not we were filming. So, you know, they call cut. We can all talk to each other over Skype and be like, oh, I like this bit, or blah, 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 or not even talk about the movie and just be like, what's for lunch, you know?
Yeah.
So it was like we were in the same room, even though we weren't.
Was it difficult to act to a computer screen?
Not for me, no. I think what was great about it is because we had, you know, this Skype-like program, we could see everybody's face on the screen. So in a lot of ways, it was easier because if I needed to catch somebody's reaction, I could still see, you know, I could catch Renee on one side of the screen and still see what Will and Jacob are doing. In a lot of ways, it was like having more information than you get as an actor typically.
Talk about the relevance of how this movie's laid out. It's kind of how we all function now on our computers, multiple screens, doing multiple things, side chats.
Yeah, I think it's an honestly like accurate depiction, you know? And I think that's where like it's really cool because when we're making the movie, we're not thinking about the desktop and we're going and we're not pacing the same way that the movie ends up being cut because of the desktop. So there's a lot of these silent moments that you get with that. That's really great because it builds the tension. And that's sort of what you need in a horror movie, you know?
It also builds the tension because, you know, as an audience member, I was watching it on my laptop and I desperately wanted to be able to change the view, and you can't.
Yeah.
That's interesting. So you saw it on a computer.
I did.
Did you try to click and stuff like that?
I did. I found myself touching my computer.
That's very interesting.
See, when we were filming it, that was something that both the writer and the director talked about is they were hoping that, like, you know, when you're watching the cursor move around the screen, that you feel like you're part of it and you almost want to, like, get in there and type and do things. So that's really great that you actually felt that way because that was definitely the intention.
All right, last question. Just talk about the fact that for an indie movie, it's like blowing up. You're getting a huge response, big Hollywood premiere. Yeah,
this is insane. I can honestly say that I never dreamed that this film was going to have this big of a release. So it's kind of crazy that this thing that we shot in a house together 2 years ago is like it's in the world. It's out there.
Yeah, it feels very like crazy and fortunate and random, you know?
Yeah.
I think it was because it was 2 years ago, it completely fell off most of our radar. And then we got this big news a couple months ago that it got bought, and then now we're like doing all this stuff, and so it's kind of a trip to put something behind you and be like, oh, that was done and it was fun, and you know, we had the experience and now it's kind of out there.
Cool. Yeah. Thank you so much, guys.
Have a good one.